Music, movies, and Marvel Universe.
Plus, we'll meet the contestants for the upcoming Student Media Showdown.
All that and more from Hamden to Hollywood, we are your source for entertainment news.
From Hamden to Hollywood, we are your source for entertainment news.
Welcome back, Hashtaggers. I'm Alyssa Murphy.
And I'm Sydney Reynolds. It has been a long week full of exciting entertainment news, so let's dive right in. Rapper DMX was hospitalized on Saturday after a reported drug overdose. His condition is still unknown. DMX has been open about his struggles with addiction. In an interview last year, he said his addiction began at age 14 when his mentor gave him a laced blunt. DMX said, quote, "Why would you do that to a child? He was 30 and he knew I looked up to him. Why would you do that to someone who looks up to you?" End quote. The rapper is in our thoughts, and we hope he's able to come out of this battle stronger than ever. But in happier news, the whodunit movie Knives Out has announced it has not one, but 2 sequels in the works. Daniel Craig, who plays the suave Detective Blanc, will reprise his role, and Rian Johnson will also continue to direct. But don't expect them to premiere in your local theater. Netflix bought the rights to both of them for a whopping $400 million. Sounds like they have some expensive mysteries to solve.
Moving along to music-related news, Demi Lovato released a new album last Friday entitled Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over. The album consists of 19 tracks featuring artists such as Ariana Grande and Noah Cyrus. Regarding the album, Lovato tweeted, quote, "This has been a journey years in the making. I can't believe it's here. Please listen to the tracks in order, top to bottom, for me. I love you all." End quote. The album discusses heavy topics, including Lovato's struggles with addiction, and has received praise from proud fans and listeners everywhere. In more music updates, Olivia Rodrigo released a new song this past Thursday. After her debut single, Driver's License, took the world and the charts by storm, Rodrigo has continued to pursue music with a single entitled Deja Vu. The young pop star has also teased at more new music, urging fans to pre-save her upcoming album, in which tracklist, artwork, and title have yet to be released.
The Oscars are coming up in a few weeks, and Hashtag Zone Willie Tier is on the mission to watch every nominated picture. Here are his thoughts on the movie The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman.
5, 6, and...
Hi, and welcome to Willie's Movie Corner. I'm your host, Willie Tier, and today we're talking about Florian Zeller's The Father. So, The Father is about a man refusing all assistance from his daughter as he ages. As he tries to make sense of the changing circumstances, he begins to doubt his loved ones, his own mind, and even the fabric of his reality. It's directed and written by Florian Zeller, who adapted it off the play of the same name, but also that play was written by Florian Zeller himself, so he's very familiar with the script. But this is his first movie, and we can't forget about that, because this movie is incredible. It stars Olivia Colman and Anthony Hopkins. Olivia Colman does a great job as usual. You might have seen her in work like The Crown, her Oscar-winning work in The Favourite, or even Hot Fuzz, which is just a phenomenal movie, and it's one of my favorites. But we can't talk about this movie without talking about Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, he's not the only good part of the movie, but he is by far the best. Anthony Hopkins has so much presence in all of his work previously, and he brings so much power to every frame that he's in. But the difference here is that he shows a raw vulnerability that I have never seen from him. His work as Hannibal Lecter, or King Lear, or Odin, for an example. There's always a very kingly, larger-than-life sort of aura with him. But with this movie, he hits a vulnerability that I've never seen from him that's just so raw and personal and sad and sometimes horrifying. Speaking of horrifying, this movie is horrifying. We see dementia in a light where we are living with the character in this state of mind. We see Olivia Colman come in as his daughter, she leaves, then another actress will come back and be his daughter. So we're as confused as he is. We go seamlessly from location to location. We don't know that the locations even changed. We're just as confused as he is. And it makes it terrifying that this is a real thing that people go through. We get this perspective that we haven't seen. And not only does the editing and the direction really, and the screenplay really help us through that, but Anthony Hopkins' performance is unreal in this movie. It's incredible, and he adds a lot to it. This movie is nominated for 6 Oscars. So that's Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Production Design. We'll go over and recap it when I do my Oscar predictions later in a few short weeks when the Oscars happen. But all in all, this is a phenomenal film by Florian Zeller. Anthony Hopkins brings maybe one of the best performances of his entire life, and Olivia Colman does well as usual. But that's all from me, from #that. I'm Willie Tier, and thank you for watching.
When we come back, Manny Galicki has updates on Hollywood's highs and lows.
Plus, Audrey Scafati and Mason Glott are back with Marvel Mondays.
Don't go anywhere.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My. Oh.
In 1 week, we will watch the fiercest warriors fight to the death to see which student media organization comes out on top. I'm just kidding. Watch this package to meet the contestants in our friendly competition.
Hi, I'm Olamide Batasha. I am a senior business management major and advertising minor from Westchester, New York. I am representing QBSN for Student Media Showdown, and I'm super excited to compete with other people because I definitely know Kevin and I got this in the bag.
What's poppin'? My name is Andrew White, here for half of the WQAQ team. Cannot forget the better half in Jackie, but nonetheless, what am I most excited for? #that. You're curious. I am most excited for being out on the quad with everybody, smiling, laughing, singing, just being around each other again on the quad in beautiful weather. Just a little sense of normalcy again, and I am jazzed up about it. I hope everybody else is too. So that's what I'm most excited for. Can't wait to see you all out there. And by the way, go WQAQ. That's who we're all rooting for.
What's up, Bobcats? My name's Jackie Bagnon, and I'm so excited to be hosting alongside Andrew White, WQAQ's general manager. For my special talent, I know American Sign Language. Go Bobcats!
Hi, my name is Alyssa Murphy, and Jack Main and I will be representing Q30 TV in the Student Media Showdown. Q30 is Quinnipiac's student-run television station, which is also hosting Student Media Showdown. What I'm most looking forward to is probably just being able to bring all the student orgs together after a long year of confusion and separation and remote events. It's going to be super fun to have everybody all together. Plus, a little healthy competition never hurt anybody. And I think it's going to be a really great time. I'm really excited.
What's up? I'm Tor Lloyd. Most people call me TJ for short. And I'm most excited to represent the Chronicle at the Student Media Showdown. I'm also pretty excited to see everyone else's talents. I think my talent's pretty fire, so I'm pretty confident.
Hollywood highs and lows. Manny, what do you have for us?
Hey Hey hashtag, it's Manny, and this week I'm here to give you guys the Hollywood highs and lows. Let's start out with a high. Taylor Swift has officially announced the entire track list for her re-recorded album, Fearless. Taylor took to Instagram to upload a video of different jumbled up words and let fans unscramble some of the track titles. After some serious sleuthing, fans were able to decode a and as a reward, Taylor announced the names and guest features on all 27 songs. The entire album will be available on April 9th for streaming everywhere. Another high, Eric Dane and Kyler Lee were guest stars on this week's episode of Grey's Anatomy. If you're the fan of the show, you would know that throughout this season, different characters who have either died or left the show are returning for one episode at a time, and is bringing some fans some serious happiness. It's a mystery every week who will be joining Meredith Grey on that iconic beach, and fans have been speculating for a while that Kyler Lee, who plays Meredith's sister Leslie, would be making a return. After the episode airs, the stars took to Instagram to share some behind-the-scenes moments, leaving us all to wonder who it might be next week. In some sad news, will be leaving The Voice as a judge coach. Jonas has served as a coach with The Voice for the past 2 separate seasons, but his schedule is just too busy for it next season. We will miss his fights with Blake Shelton and the pressure he writes each member of his team. Only cross our fingers that maybe there's a new Jonas Brothers album in the works, and that's why he has to take some time off. And to finish it out with one last high, Ariana Grande, however, will be replacing Nick Jonas as a coach on The Voice. Grande will be joining Blake Shelton, John Legend, and Kelly Clarkson on this next season to change it up a little bit. This will be her first time that Ariana Grande will be put in a position like this, and it sure will be interesting to see who she turns for and what kind of fight she's able to put up against the other 3. That's it from me this week with your Hollywood highs and lows, and back to you guys at the desk. Thanks, Manny. It's Monday, and that means we're here to discuss the latest episode of Marvel's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Audrey and Mason, take it away.
Hey hashtag, I'm Audrey Scafati.
And I'm Mason Glod.
And welcome back to Marvel Mondays, at home edition.
Today we will be recapping and reviewing episode 3, The Power Broker.
This episode starts with an aggressive John Walker looking for the Flag Smashers. Meanwhile, Bucky and Sam go visit Zemo in jail, and Bucky breaks Zemo out.
Our new trio travels to Madripoor, an elusive city, to gain intel on the super soldier serum. After gaining intel about the serum and the leader of the criminal underworld of Madripoor named the Power Broker, our trio get compromised and put in serious danger.
Luckily, Sharon Carter ends up saving them. Sharon ends up revealing that she has been living as a fugitive since Civil War and ends up taking them to the scientist who has been making the super soldier serum. The scientist reveals that the Flag Smashers have more doses of the serum.
After the lab gets destroyed, they escape and Sharon decides to stay in Madripoor. Bucky, Sam, and Zemo travel to Latvia to gain more intel. Walker and Hoskins deduce that Sam and Bucky broke Zemo out of jail, and our new Captain America seems to be getting shadier and shadier.
Finally, in Latvia, Bucky ends up going off on his own following a trail of mysterious objects. The objects were left by Io, a member of the Dora Milaje from Wakanda. As expected, the Wakandans are not happy about Zemo's release from prison.
Now time to talk about our thoughts and theories.
My first thoughts of this episode is just how great it was. It definitely was the most exciting out of all 3 so far.
I thought this was a great episode, very action-packed, and just a good addition to the story.
I absolutely loved the lighting and the cinematography and a lot of the shots and the use of music. I thought that it was so well done.
It's interesting that all 3 episodes have been so different. They almost feel like 3 different shows. Episode 1 focused on the family, episode 2 was a lot about John Walker, and this episode was really Zemo's episode.
Sharon Carter is a total boss lady. She is so good at, her fight scenes were so intense, but I thought that her fight sequences when Bucky and Sam were in the trying to look for the scientist was pretty cool.
I'm pretty confident in my theory that Sharon Carter is the Power Broker. It just makes sense that that's what she's been doing in Madripoor, and I'd like to see that happen because that would put her in much more of a gray zone, and I think she needs a little more to do.
Her just kind of disappearing and being in the center of the place of where all this action is a little suspicious in my own opinion.
As for Zemo this episode, I love Zemo. Interestingly, his characterization here is so different than Civil War. Here he is like a rich mogul kind of, but I really like it. And I really like it when Zemo is really shady, so I'm hoping he has some plans in his back pocket, which I think he does.
And John Walker, really disappointing me. I obviously didn't have high hopes for him because he's not Steve Rogers. He was so mean to someone. He beat them up, he yelled at them. I think he swore at them, which is not like Captain America.
Language.
Come on, John Walker. Let's start acting like Captain America. Let's get our stuff together.
I think one of the biggest questions left in this episode is that there are a bunch of super soldier serums out there, and who is gonna get them? I need to know. As always, we're super excited to see what happens next week, and we're excited to talk about it.
See you next time on Marvel Mondays.
Coming up after the break, Caroline Torpy is here with all things Hollywood news.
Stick around.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Welcome back. Caroline Torpy is here with the latest Hollywood news updates. Caroline, what have you got for us?
Hey hashtag, it's Caroline Torpy, and I'm back this week with this week's Hollywood news update. First up, the hit YouTube sensation James Charles is finally being held accountable for his actions. Charles has over 25 million followers on YouTube and has already been called out by fellow YouTubers and celebs for his inappropriate comments to younger fans. This March, a 15-year-old boy shared screenshots from his conversations with James on TikTok. James blocked the boy after he began speaking out about how he was underage and how James knew it all along. In April, James released an apology video after 2 more boys, both under the age of 18, released their inappropriate conversations with James. James claims that he will work harder in the future to avoid mistakes like this and is sorry for his actions. Do you guys think this is the downfall of James Charles, and how do you think he'll recover from this moving forward?
I'm so upset about this. I've always been a really big fan of James Charles. I have his makeup palette. I always watch his videos when they premiered. So at first, I was a little suspicious because, there's always this idea that this is a famous person and you see these allegations come up. But after seeing many more, I of course believe them, and I will not continue to watch his content anymore.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I even remember freshman year you showing me your brand new James Charles palette. You're so excited, and I know that you had such a strong love for him, so that's got to be really upsetting. I was never a huge fan, but I do think that this really will be his downfall. After, a whole second scandal happening, I feel like with the entire public eye on him, there's no way he's really going to come back from this, which is upsetting, but again, we have to remember, even though he's in the limelight, he did this to himself, and he has to remember that he has a platform, and he needs to use the platform for good.
Yeah, and this scandal is way more different now that there's criminal charges. So,
yeah.
Caroline, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I used to be a really big fan of James Charles, but after all these scandals and controversies with him, I'm not so sure if I'll be a fan for long. I think he definitely needs to be held accountable for his actions, and it's really disappointing because this has happened multiple times. Next up, though, Duke of Hastings, Regé-Jean Page will not be returning to Bridgerton for season 2. On Instagram, Netflix revealed the news, and fans immediately shared their disappointment. Even Kim Kardashian West took to Twitter, quote, "Wait, what?" end quote. Bridgerton definitely launched his career as he has since won an NAACP Image Award, hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live, and was nominated for an SGA Award.
He is due to appear in Netflix's big budget film along with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. How do you guys think his depart will affect Bridgerton, and do you plan on still watching it?
I mean, I loved Bridgerton. I got so into it. I actually just hosted a tea party this Easter that's super Bridgerton themed, and my sister's already read all of the books, so of course it's so upsetting to not see that hottie on my screen anymore. But, you know, each book is about each different sibling and their love life, so it does kind of make sense that he doesn't reappear for the next season, because the next one will be about Anthony.
Yep, and as much as people are upset about him leaving, I think that the genuine love for the show that has been all around for this whole entire, I don't know, this past year? I never watched Bridgerton, but I've seen so much support for it, so I really think that the fans are still going to be watching it. The show's not going to go downhill in any way. Also, it's super great for the actor. He's going to get way more new opportunities. Like Caroline mentioned, this really launched his career. So now there's way more great opportunities for him, and all the loyal fans are going to get to see him in a lot of other stuff. So I think it'll totally be good. Caroline, what do you think about it?
I agree. I'm disappointed that he's leaving, but I'm excited to see where this new series takes him. Next up, YouTuber Olivia Jade found herself at the center of a scandal again. 2 years ago, Olivia's parents were charged guilty in the midst of a college admissions scandal. Netflix has since released a documentary about their 2019 admissions scandal. Olivia has recently spoken out on TikTok about being publicly shamed. Olivia said, quote, "I just want people to remember, if your feelings are hurting or they're valid to you, they're valid." What do you guys think of Netflix's documentary surrounding the scandal, and do you think that Olivia can recover from this?
Well, now that there's a whole documentary about it, I seriously can't see her coming back from this, at least in the immediate future. And I mean, you know, it's kind of similar to the James Charles thing. Like, it's unfortunate that this happened to her, and it's unfortunate that she was young and she was impressionable and she didn't really know too much. She had a famous mother who kind of encouraged this, but at the end of the day, again, you know, she had a platform. She needs to understand her position in the limelight, and her kind of asking people to feel bad for her in a way is not really a healthy thing for somebody with a big platform to do, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, let's not forget that she also has a lot of ties to David Dobrik, and I don't know if we talked about him on the last hashtag, but she just found herself in a lot of unfortunate places. Yeah. So I really don't know if she'll recover from this. Caroline, what do you think about it at all?
I think that Olivia has definitely learned a lot from this, but it's still very disappointing. As a freshman this year, I know how hard everyone worked last year to just get into college, and it's really disappointing that this happened, and it's still an issue. Well, that's it for this week for me, but back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Caroline. That is all we have for Hollywood news, but stick around to see us play a fun game of spring-themed this or that.
We'll be right back.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
With the warm weather quickly becoming the norm and flowers starting to bloom, it's only right that Alyssa and I play a game of This or That Spring Edition.
That's right. We have a few matchups to go over and give our opinions on if we prefer this or that.
First up we have, do we like listening to the rain or do we like seeing a rainbow?
I'm definitely in on listening to the rain.
Okay, me too. It's literally when I am feeling sad, when I need to go to sleep, when I need to study. I don't know anyone else, but I type in rain sounds on YouTube and I listen to it in the background. So I just always create that feeling.
It's so therapeutic. It's so relaxing. Also, rainbows, like you see it, it's quick, it's short-lived. It's kind of the same thing the whole time. Rain is just like, you could see the rain coming down, hitting all the things.
The vibe.
It's just, I don't know. It definitely rains. All right, well, the next question we have is going to be sandals or flip-flops?
I'm definitely a flip-flops girl. I'm not high maintenance with because I'm also a beach girl. So, like, I want to take off my shoes the second I hit the sand, and it's way easier to do that with flip-flops.
No, I agree. You can always see me at Old Navy at that $2 flip-flop rack, you know, searching through the back trying to find my size because I have the most basic foot size ever, and every single person and their mother wants Old Navy flip-flops. But, you know, flip-flops are just easier. Sandals take so long to unclip. It's just a whole project.
Yeah, it's a girl. Only girls will mainly understand this, but flip-flops are just so much easier than a sandals hassle.
Yeah.
So next, we got Easter egg hunt or Easter baskets.
I love the Easter egg hunt. Ever since I was little, we always did Easter egg hunts in my house, and it's just something about a little surprise inside of an egg. Like, what's not to love about opening up a little plastic egg and just finding candy inside? Like, that is the most joyful thing in the world. Come on.
I visit my grandparents every year, and this year they almost didn't have the Easter egg hunt because they didn't think I'd want to do it. And I was like, are you kidding me? When you stop doing it, I'll be 28. I'll be 28, I'll be 30. You better start throwing me those Easter egg hunts.
You know, when I have my own children, I will be the one running around the yard, picking up the eggs, making watch.
My kids can find it. Like,
it's always a fun time. The next one we have is lavender or rose scent.
I think we both agree on this. It's lavender for sure.
Yeah, lavender, it's just like a nicer, softer scent. Rose is a little bit overwhelming. I don't know why, but sometimes rose gives me like an old person feel. Not in a bad way. I'm just like more about the lavender smell, you know?
Yeah, no, I think my oil diffuser right now is set on lavender. It's very calming. It's supposed to be great to soothe you, and, you know, I really like that scent.
It's very relaxing.
And then we have spring sports or spring chilling.
See, I'm kind of 50-50 on this one because I love a good Yankee game, but at the same time, like, I love just sitting out in the sun and vibing in a big field of grass and just enjoying the season. So both have their ups.
Yeah, even though I do love Easter egg hunts, that activity is short-lived, and that's the important part because I am not an activity person. So spring sports are definitely something I'm skipping. I don't even really, I don't know anything about baseball, so definitely chilling outside, smelling the flowers. And speaking of flowers, do we like April showers or May flowers?
I am a Mayflowers. I just love the way that the flowers bloom. It almost feels like life is coming back because winter is also my least favorite season, so even the rain, even though it's relaxing, it's sort of almost dismal sometimes, and the flowers blooming kind of remind me that life is coming back and winter is over and the awful cold has come to an end, and it's just like a nice little reminder of like happiness.
Well, Alyssa's reason is poetic. I just like April because it's my birthday month. So that's why I like April showers.
All right, that is all we have for the game, but it is once again time for a celeb celebration. So first up, happy 48th birthday to singer, songwriter, and producer Pharrell Williams. Not only has Pharrell released phenomenal hits of his own, but his producing talents have impacted the music industry immensely. Happy birthday, Pharrell.
And also happy birthday to the Cartoon Network show Adventure Time. The animated series premiered 11 years ago, and we have loved Jake the dog and Finn the human ever since.
That is all we have for tonight.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Also, download the Q30 TV app on the App Store to stay up to date on all things Q30 wherever you go. From everyone in the control room and us at the desk,
thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. Same time, same place. Good night, hashtaggers.